Okay, so if I multiply this out, I will add the exponents. And then if I have any negative exponents, I will need to move those. They're on top, put them down below. Here I need to do this part first. This to the third will be 3 to the third. X to the 15th. We multiply the exponents in this situation. And now if I multiply out, it would be 4x to the 17th, y to the 18th. Over here, I want to reduce. I need to subtract the exponents. On the bottom, it's a bigger number, so -7 minus -9 is x squared. Bigger on the bottom, 6 minus 2 is 8. You might prefer to rewrite it without negative exponents. And so if it's on the bottom, put it on top. If it's on top, put it on the bottom. If it has a positive exponent, leave it where it is. So if you get rid of the negative exponents, you would have something like that. Evaluate. I want to take the cube root of 64. I get 4. And then I want to square it. I get 16. Here we need to take the cube root of 8 to get 2. Then we need to raise it to the 4th power to get 16. And then that answer to the -1 power would be 1 over 16. Here I want to raise this to the 3rd power. I'll just cube the top, cube the bottom, and then I'll raise that to the -1 power. So that'll give me 8 over 27. Radicals. Here I need to simplify root 12. I want one of these numbers to be a perfect square. This is 2. 3 times 2 is 6, so I get 6 root 3. Root 75 is root 25 times root 3. That's a 5. So that'll be 5 root 3. It's plus. If these are the same radicals, we can add them together. Just like 6x plus 5x is 11x, 6 root 3 plus 5 root 3 is 11 root 3. We need to distribute out, so we'll get 10 root 12. We'll need to simplify the root 12, and then 20. And then root 2 times root 2 is 2. It's the square root of 4, which is 2. This is root 4 times root 3. This is 2. So we get 20 root 3 minus 40. Here we cannot cancel. This is a non-radical, this is a radical. So we're just going to multiply the top and bottom by root 3. We get 6 root 3 on top. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. Now these we can cancel, and we get 2 on top. So 2 root 3 is our final answer. And here we need to multiply by 4 minus root 6 on the top and the bottom. On top, I'm not going to multiply that out. Maybe I'll decide to later. I do need to FOIL the bottom. If I FOIL the bottom, the outer and inner terms are going to cancel. I'm going to get 16 minus 4 root 6 plus 4 root 6 and then minus 6. The middle terms will cancel and I'll just get 10 on the bottom. I could multiply out the top and get this, but I can't do any simplifying after that. On the factoring, can we factor something out on this one? No, so we need factors of 5 and 8 that differ by 14. 1 times 1, 5 times 8, 5 times 8, 5 times 1, or 1 times 1, but 5 times 4 and 1 times 2. So the factors of 5x squared are x and 5x. The x goes with the 2, the 5x goes with 4. The signs have to be different. That is our answer. If we FOIL it out, 5x squared plus 2x minus 20x minus 8 it checks. Here we can factor out. That should always be our first option. Can we factor something out? We can take out that. So we have x squared minus 5. That'll factor farther. X plus 5, x minus 5. So we have 3x to the third. Here we cannot factor out. The 27 has no x. It is a difference of cubes. So the pattern looks like that. Whoops, that should have been squared. And here we must do by grouping. If I look at the first two, I can take out a 4x, and I have 2x plus 3y. And out of the last two, I can take out a plus 3, and I have 2x plus 3y. Excuse me. So these are the same. Good news. Factor that out front. What's left? Out of this grouping, a 4x. Out of this grouping, a plus 3. Once again, if you FOIL it out and check, you'll get those 4 terms. It might be a slightly different order, but it will be those 4 terms. Simplifying, we need to get a common multiple because we're adding, a common denominator. 8 and 6, 24, and then we need the y. So I'm going to take this one times 4y, and I get 20y. This one, I need to take top and bottom times 3, and I get 9. Now they have the same base, so we can add the numerators. We cannot do any simplifying. On B, we just can't start canceling. We have to factor. We can factor out a 3, and then the x squared minus 9 factors farther. Here I can take out a 2x, and that will not go any farther. So if we factor the numerator and denominator, we have that. Now, not a lot of canceling, but I can cancel the x plus 3's. So I have 3 times x minus 3 all over 2x. We cannot cancel those x's. If I factor this, I get x minus 3 times x. Sorry about that, not sure what happened. That'll factor. Because that's plus, we need a common denominator. And it will be x minus 3 times x plus 2. So the first fraction already has that denominator. The second fraction, we need to take times the x 3. Not sure what's going on here. So that'll be a 3x minus 9 if we multiply that out. So on top, we have 3x minus 5. And on the bottom, we would have x minus 3 times x plus 2. And on D, the last one on page 1, we're going to look at our denominators. I'm going to multiply by 8x squared over 1. If I take this fraction times 8x squared over 1, let's see what I get here. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. So I'll have 20x squared. When I take this fraction times that, the 8x squares will cancel. And so I'll just have a 3, but it is a minus 3. Actually, I think that's a plus. Should be a plus 3. And here, when I take that, that cancels to get 2x. 2x times 7 is 14x. That is page 1.